Hey there, Parker Reed here, and welcome to PR Media, your home for everything movies and music through my eyes. And since I dressed up as Joker from Joaquin Phoenix's movie from last year for Halloween this year, I thought I might as well review the movie, so let's get into Joker. Forever alone in a crowd, failed comedian Arthur Fleck seeks connection as he walks the streets of Gotham City. Arthur wears two masks, the one he paints for his day job as a clown, and the guise he projects in a futile attempt to feel like he's part of the world around him. Isolated, bullied, and disregarded by society, Fleck begins a slow descent into madness as he transforms into the criminal mastermind known as Joker. Joker was my favorite movie of 2019. One, because I'm a big fan of the character Joker, and two, it dealt with a lot of heavy themes that a lot of superhero movies really don't deal with. And before we get into the movie itself, there was a lot of controversy before the movie came out because people thought it would be glorifying a mass murder and glorifying a mental illness that is really harmful to someone who has it. But they were dead wrong, and when the movie came out, it was all about the public health system and how people deal with people that have mental illnesses. And there's a quote in the movie that really represents that. The quote is, "The worst part about having a mental illness is people expect you to act like you don't." And that's a really good representation of how we view mental illness as a whole in society, and it really shone a light on it, so I appreciate that about Joker. And it's no secret that in this movie, Joaquin Phoenix is absolutely phenomenal. He won an Oscar for his performance, so obviously it was good, and I think he's one of the best Jokers. He's right up there with Heath Ledger, but I don't know if he eclipses it. I think they're right on the same level. They're so incredibly different, and every representation of the Joker has been different, but Joaquin Phoenix brought a lot to the role. A lot of people didn't like Joker because it was so similar to like the movie The King of Comedy, which also had Robert De Niro in it. And I understand those comparisons, but the movie is bloodier. There's obviously the Batman theme, so I really didn't care. I'd never seen The King of Comedy before this came out, so didn't mind at all. And a big thing this movie gets right is the tone of it is extremely dour, it's extremely sad, and that really reflects on the Joker's upbringing and just shows how depressing his life is. And there's a quote in the movie where Arthur Fleck says he hasn't been happy 1 minute in his whole fucking life, and that showed what mental state he was in, and the fact that he was getting his ass kicked almost every day and worked a job that he got fired at, and his mom was abusing him. You can see why he went crazy, and I thought his character arc was completely believable in Joker. Another aspect I love about Joker was the fact that it's so beautiful, it's so beautifully shot. The cinematography is it's fantastic throughout this entire thing. I've watched this on 4K Blu-ray about 10 times. One, because it's such a beautifully shot movie, and rewatching it, I'm super impressed. This movie easily could have fell into more traditional ways of shooting, and it would have been fine, it would have been serviceable, but the artistry in this movie is absolutely phenomenal. Even a simple shot like Joker walking down the street, or the Joker walking up a set of stairs, it's like an oil painting, honestly. It looks phenomenal, and if you haven't paid attention to the cinematography in this movie yet, you really need to. And of course, cinematography without a great score would have been null and void, and the score in Joker is great as well. I've got it on vinyl, and it really sets the mood and just gives an overall tone of depression and sorrow, and there's a reason it was nominated for an Oscar too, because the score in Joker is great. And I don't have a lot of gripes with this movie. Sure, I would have liked it if some of the other characters would have got a little bit more time to shine. I don't think there's many scenes, if any, that don't feature Arthur Fleck primarily, and I don't think there's really any scenes that Arthur Fleck isn't in. Joaquin Phoenix has to win an award for having the most screen time in a movie because he's constantly on screen. I'd like to see how much of this movie doesn't have Joaquin Phoenix in the frame, because he's in this movie a lot. So maybe I would have wanted to go away from him a little bit to kind of set the stage, because you really don't know what's happening in Gotham that much. You just kind of see it through Arthur's eyes and what Arthur's hearing and seeing about it. I would have liked to see more of what was happening surrounding him rather than just his viewpoint on it. But Joker 2019 is one of my favorites. There isn't much more I can say that hasn't already been said 1,000 times. So go out and see this movie if you haven't yet, and I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's not quite a 10 out of 10, but the amount of movies that I've watched that are 10 out of 10s, I can probably fit on one hand. So Joker 2019 is one of my favorite movies of the last couple of years, one you should definitely check out. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you saw here, you can check us out on Facebook or Instagram, and like, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. My name is Parker Reed. You've been watching PR Media. Keep supporting physical media, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
You just